Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more English story. There was a man named Henry who lived in a small, quiet town. He rarely spoke, and when he did, it was only in short, simple sentences. People called him the Silent Man. He worked as a gardener, tending to flowers and plants in the town square. Despite his silence, his work was beautiful, and people admired his talent. But no one knew much about Henry. Some said he had a sad past, while others believed he simply didn't like people. Children would often ask their parents, "Why doesn't Henry talk?" The answer was always the same: no one knows. A mysterious life. Henry lived alone in a small house at the edge of town. Every morning, he would wake up early, drink his tea, and head to work. He greeted people with a nod or a small wave, but never stayed to chat. One day, a curious little girl named Lily decided she wanted to learn more about Henry. She watched him as he planted flowers, his hands moving skillfully through the soil. "Why don't you talk much?" Lily asked boldly. Henry paused, looking at her with kind but tired eyes. "Talking isn't always needed," he said softly, then went back to his work. A change in routine. One day, the mayor of the town announced a big festival to celebrate the town's history. Everyone was excited, including Lily. But something strange happened. Henry didn't show up to work for several days. Worried, Lily decided to visit his house. She knocked on the door, and after a moment, Henry opened it. He looked surprised to see her. "Are you okay, Mr. Henry?" Lily asked. Henry hesitated, then nodded. "I'm fine," he said, but his voice sounded heavier than usual. Lily noticed a photo on the table behind him. It showed a younger Henry with a woman and a little boy. She realized there was more to his silence than she had imagined. The truth revealed. Over time, Lily continued to visit Henry. Slowly, he began to share small pieces of his past. He told her about his wife and son, who had passed away many years ago in a car accident. The pain had been too much for him, and he had chosen to live a quiet life, finding peace in his garden work. "I talked to the flowers," Henry admitted one day. "They don't judge or ask questions. They just grow." Lily's heart ached for him, but she admired his strength. Despite his loss, he had found a way to keep going. The festival day. On the day of the festival, Lily had a plan. She asked the mayor to give Henry a special spot in the town square. There, he could show his beautiful plants and flowers. When Henry arrived, he was surprised to see a crowd of people gathered around a colorful garden. A big sign said, "Thank you, Henry, for making our town beautiful." Asterisk, asterisk. Henry stood still, his eyes wide. The flowers he had taken care of for years were now in the center of the town for everyone to see. For the first time in a long while, Henry smiled a true, happy smile. Children ran around, pointing at the flowers and laughing. Older people stopped to admire the plants and talked about Henry's hard work. A woman walked up to him with her young son. She held out a small bouquet of flowers. "Mr. Henry," she said kindly, "these are for you. My grandmother always told me about how you gave her flowers when she was sad. Thank you for all you've done for us." Henry took the flowers, his hands shaking a little. "Your grandmother was a good friend," he said softly, his voice filled with emotion. More people came to thank Henry that day. They shared stories about how his flowers had brightened their lives. Each kind word made Henry feel less lonely. Lily stood nearby, watching. Her heart felt full of joy. She knew Henry didn't speak much, but his face showed how happy he was. As the sun went down and lights lit up the square, Henry walked over to Lily. "Thank you," he said quietly. "I didn't know people cared." Lily smiled back. "We care, Henry. We always have. We just didn't show it well before. But now we will." From that day on, Henry wasn't just a quiet man with a garden. He became a part of the town's heart. His flowers didn't just bring beauty, they brought people together. And for Henry, the town finally felt like home, a new beginning. From that day on, Henry wasn't just the quiet man anymore. He became a symbol of strength, kindness, and the power of silent actions. People started visiting his garden regularly, not just to admire the flowers, but also to feel the peace and warmth it brought to their lives. Henry's work reminded them of the beauty in simple things and the value of care and dedication. Even though Henry didn't talk much, his actions spoke volumes. When a neighbor needed help with their garden, Henry would quietly show up with his tools. When children passed by his house, he would give them small flowers to take home. Over time, people stopped seeing him as just a quiet man and started seeing him as a friend and an important part of the community. For Lily, Henry taught her one of the greatest lessons of all. Sometimes, the loudest voices don't come from words, but from actions. She realized that even without speaking, Henry was able to touch the hearts of so many people. His quiet strength and gentle kindness were far more powerful than any speech or conversation could ever be. The town changed because of Henry. People began to notice the small things in life, the colors of the flowers, the beauty of a sunset, and the importance of kindness. And in their hearts, they all carried a little piece of Henry's silent wisdom. That actions, done with love and care, can speak louder than words ever will. The moral of the story is, actions speak louder than words. True kindness and strength are often shown through actions rather than spoken words. Even without saying much, a person can create a lasting impact on others by their quiet generosity, dedication, and care. Additionally, the story teaches us, don't judge people by their outward behavior. Everyone has a unique way of expressing themselves, and sometimes the quietest people have the most to offer. Small acts of kindness can create big changes. Helping others, even in simple ways, can bring a community together and make a difference. Find beauty in the small things. Life's greatest joys often come from appreciating nature, connections, and acts of love. I'm so glad you spent this time with me. If you like the story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Take care and see you next time.